two, and they're both reappointments. Mary Ann McNamara has been and has agreed to continue to approve my public arts representative. And Jean, and I'm going to say this last name wrong, I think it's Mascaro, if I'm saying that right, has been on the library board and would like to continue, and she's done a nice job with that. So those are my own comments.
I'll second his motion to approve it.
Knew I would say that wrong.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ms. Tiller?
I actually have four. One isn't on here, but she submitted her resignation, so we'll just start.
There's a reason for that.
Right.
It's legit, because she was gonna work out her term.
Oh,
That's why we didn't go.
She just did.
I gotcha. Okay, so this one might be a little different so that I can get somebody new appointed before the next meeting. So for the CRA, my appointment, Barbara Arco, has asked to resign. She submitted her resignation. She did a 2-year term because it was sort of a shoulder, went over the shoulder. And I would like to appoint Mark Slavey in her place to be effective 1 January.
Didn't know that.
Any more?
Oh, yeah, so, but that one is effective,
Okay.
January 1st, all right. Then for the historic board, Tom Cutshaw, I would like to be reappointed, and so I'd like to reappoint him. Parks and Rec, I have a Mary Miller as the alternate on Parks and Rec, and she would like to be reappointed, and I'd like to reappoint her. And then for the library board, Helen Cutshaw is the alternate, and she would also like to be reappointed. And I forgot one, the Northeast Community Redevelopment Agency board or advisory committee, Bill Gearing's appointment expires, and he also would like to be reappointed, and I would like to reappoint him. How?
May I make a comment first? My recollection, and maybe it's my Scandinavian memory just starting to fade early or normally, but I believe there was a general consensus here that appointees, not necessarily reappointees, because we've done that. So in Bill Gearing's case, for example, he's a fine member of the Northeast Community Board. But we had asked them, had we not, to appear here so we can see them and they can express some interest. Didn't we take a position like that?
This is strictly, the only thing the council does is approve, basically approve.
Council has to approve the appointment, I realize that. Okay, my memory then, I thought we had talked about it.
I had actually asked earlier if we could have this portion of the agenda moved up, because I had appointees here, and for them, I told them they don't have to stick around 3 hours.
Yeah.
The one gentleman, Mr. Carpenter,
Okay.
got here at 3 o'clock to watch the workshop. So
That was my.
Okay, just for when we did ask for the approval of the agenda, if anybody needs to move something or whatever at that point, I think that's the area where we generally will accept those kind of movements at that point, or anything you want to take. And maybe if somebody doesn't want an item on the agenda, and the council says they don't want it on there, that's the time we want to do that.
Oh, I know, Mr. Mayor, this was merely, I was informally asking if I should do it, and they said, the basic answer was, no, it's okay.
And it was brought up about the attendance of the members at a recent meeting, but I don't recall any action being taken. It was just mentioned
That
in
was my
passing.
memory.
Yes.
I withdraw the question.
What I was just going to say, just for information, I had asked Mr. Slavy to attend if he could, and he said he would be delighted to. However, he was picking up family at the airport, so.
Okay, all in favor for appointments?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Mayor and council members. I have only one at this time, but if I can wait till January 2nd for the remaining three for which I'm responsible, I will reappoint Elizabeth Liz Wincup, to the Public Arts Commission. Her term expires December 31st, 2017. My report that I get is she does an excellent job in that capacity. I move approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and thank you, Ms. Oaks.
I'm reappointing all of mine. Mine are all, they don't expire until 2018, so they'll all finish out another year.
Okay,
You want me to go through
Yeah,
each
why don't
one?
you just name their names on
Well, I didn't write them down. Okay,
Okay.
that's all right. I can look at the
You have the
things.
list. You have the list, okay. She has the list, okay, so that's not.
She got it. So you know they're all, none of mine expired this year.
Okay, all in favor of Ms. Oaks' appointments?
Aye.
Aye.
That doesn't,
On your library.
I got
That-
Catherine Gillespie that it does.
Yeah.
She expires
Catherine
in
Gillespie.
11/11.
oh, I guess I didn't appoint her then because I would have appointed, okay. I haven't talked to Kathy, so I'll have to talk to her, see if she wants to go back. That's my mistake then, sorry. And also, they didn't expire. Their appointments are good until 2018. That didn't sound right after I said it. That's the nurse in me. I can't because I'm only, my term is through this year, 2018. That's why they're all 2 years. That's why I missed Kathy,
Okay, fine.
because she was already there.
Okay, so all of hers again, except for Ms. Oaks.
Kathy, and I'll talk to Kathy.
Okay, and, Mr. Tucker?
Okay, I have four. First one is Bill Carpenter, who Donna Birch is stepping down from planning and zoning. The second one is, the term is up, I'm reappointing him, Pat Burke. That will be to CRA.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
I ran into Mr. Burke yesterday and was thanking him for being on it, and he said he wasn't real sure that he was on the right committee. Has he had the conversation with you about that?
No, but he's attended meetings.
I know he has,
Yeah.
but he actually said, can we meet and talk about the committee? And I said, so I didn't want, because I know it's your appointment, but he sounded like he wasn't sure it was the right committee for what he was trying to accomplish to be a part of the city. And that he, actually, the conversation he had with me is he thought maybe he should have thought about Parks and Rec because of what he does and the programs that he does. So it's just an FYI to you, because I feel
Okay.
remiss if I didn't mention it to you. But I happened to run into him at the Chambers when he mentioned it to me, because I was sitting at his table.
How's this sound? I'll reappoint Mr. Burke at the present time, and if he comes up to me and says he'd rather be on Parks and Rec, I'll ask my Park and Rec, because I think my Park and Rec person would be very good on either committee either also.
Good solution.
That's a good, and again, that's only because we're under sunshine. I couldn't come and tell you
that's
about
okay.
my conversation yesterday. with
How to phrase this? I live across the street from him.
Who knows? I mean,
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, as we move on, thank you for the information. I will talk to him. I would like to nominate Pat, reappoint Pat, if he'll accept it, and he has not told me he would not. To Parks and Rec, I'd like to appoint Kate Bernard. She's a new appointee. And Kate is, just to explain, Kate did not fill out the standard form. I told her to come to City Hall. She came down and she said she wanted to volunteer. And they misunderstood and gave her a volunteer form instead of, that's what happened there. And thank you. And I talked to Misty today. She said, we'll get the paperwork in. And last is a reappointment to the Public Arts. That's Susan Grogan.
I'm assuming that appointment will be subject to any, when she fills it out?
Yes, it'll be
Investigative
subject.
reports. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine with me.
But those are my four nominees.
Okay, all in favor of his nominees?
Aye.
hi.
Massey?
I have four. For Parks and Recreation, to a vacancy, I'd like to appoint Margot L. Reed, R-E-I-D. Margot had an application on file, and I reviewed that. She has strong qualifications. She lives in Lakeland Outdoor, and she was very excited to serve.
Very good.
Margot Reed for Parks and Recreation. Community Redevelopment Advisory Committee for Dudley Askew. He was appointed in June of 17, expires 31 December 17. I interviewed him by phone on the 4th of December. He's very willing to continue his service on the CRA, and from what I can observe, he's done a very good job. He took a vacancy evidently for that short tenure, and I would reappoint him for another term of service. For the Northeast Community Redevelopment Agency, I interviewed Janet Manchin, if I say her last name correctly.
Correct, that's correct.
Janet was appointed in 2010, and looking at the Northeast CRA, the service there has been long-standing. She has done a very good job, and most recently, I think, organized the community cleanup effort out there. I called her and talked with her at length, and she was very happy to serve another term.
I can assure you she's done a good job.
Yeah. Well, I was very pleased with that. And I have one more that I need to do a little work on. Maybe we can pass that until the 2nd of January. That's planning and zoning.
Okay, all in favor of his nominees?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and I have a few here, and what I'm doing with a lot of my nominees, I'm bringing them, there were 2018 terminations, and I'm bringing everybody up to 2019, and reappointing people to get them up to 2019, and others are gonna be that way. Planning and zoning, Donnie Stroud, up to 2019, thank you. And he renewed, and on the NACRA Advisory Board, Amy Bolt, that's gonna stay on, there won't be any change with her, that's not really, we can change with her. Public Arts Commission, I need to find somebody for that, and the one who, she moved out of town, and I'm not having a job anymore, so I have people searching for somebody for a Public Arts Commission spot for that. Historic Preservation Board, Richard Eggert, he's been serving, and I'll extend him to 2019. CRA Advisory Board, Philip Barnard, and renew him for 2 years to 2019. Library Board, Stephen Berger, I'm going to extend him to 2019. Parks and Recs, Amy Fortenberry, and extend her to 2019. I've been trying to play phone tag. I think Amy's on the vacation, so I need to confirm with her, but she's been on this board for a long time, so I don't think she would not be accepting the reappointment. So, and also under my mayor appointments, the Lake Sumter MPO liaison, I'm appointing myself for the rest of my term. Lake Sumter MPO alternate, Mr. Crow, would you please be the alternate again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, till
Thank you.
2019, thank you. Community Trust, Ms. Tilt, would you please serve on that again?
I'd be delighted.
Thank you. Lake County Community Action is Jack Grant, and he's already said he would love to extend that and be part of that group, and so, Lake County Action, Lake Community Action, excuse me. The Lake County Advisory Board, I have to get a name for that, I believe it'll be Mr. Berger, but I have to confirm with him, yes, so I won't appoint that. And our Lake County Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Council, I'm appointing Robert Zerby, who's already has here, and he's going to
Bob,
take
you're the
that.
front row.
Yep, right in front row here. Okay, so those are all my nominees.
League of Cities you mentioned,
Oh, I'm sorry,
that's on the agenda, isn't it?
what, let's put that on here, but the League of Cities liaison, we're gonna put that on here, but like, yeah, Mr. Wilson, would you please continue with that?
Oh, well,
Thank you very much. Okay, all in favor of mine?
Board, library? Yes.
I'm
I'm sorry.
If you're making Mr. Berger the member, he was the alternate,
On the,
library board.
on the county, Lake County?
That's for Lake County, that's Smith City, Your Honor.
And the city he is being, I'm appointing him until 2019. To be on the library board. I believe I had a full opening on that. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
But you had been, right?
Yeah, I was, guess, the liaison to the library?
Are you talking about the Lake County?
No, the city.
oh, This is,
as a city council liaison?
Lake County when it
No,
expires.
no, we don't have a city, we don't have a liaison to the library board, we have advisory board members. I know we had a,
We have a council liaison to our library board,
Yes.
and then we have a Lake County.
okay, I
Library
wasn't given that
advisory.
as a nominee, but if you're the current liaison and you wanna continue as that,
Yeah, I'd be fine.
okay, then mark that down also, then, that was on my list. Unless that was supposed to be the city's advisory liaison, that was on here instead of Lake County.
No, that's Lake County
Okay.
on your list.
Okay, so that's all of it, and all in favor of my nominations?
So did you appoint somebody new to the library?
No. Not yet, I need
Just-
to find somebody.
Mr. Mayor, let me just tell you that when I spoke with Jean, whose last name I can't pronounce, Macaloso,
Yes,
she actually asked, she said, I'd like to get more involved with the county library system. How do I go about doing that? I said, I have no idea, and I asked her to speak with Amy Jewell or Kathy at the library. So you might want to talk
okay, we'll do
to,
that until, and then we'll do that
her.
on the second then. Thank
yeah,
you.
she's very
I'll
interested.
send you her contact information
Okay,
tomorrow
great.
if it's not in the packet.
Okay.
yeah, and we've checked out the background on Donnie Stroud, I presume.
It's a little questionable, but we speak them through, so not a problem. And, all in favor? My
Aye.
nomination? Okay, we went through that painlessly.
May I make one comment for
Correct.
the city clerk? Attachment number 9, Board of Trustees, Firefighters Pension Fund, I still appear with a term expiring in 2020. So we need to make a correction there.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's resigned for that, so.
I believe that is because they meet tomorrow and they have to appoint somebody, and I believe there was a timing effect of tonight's meeting for that to happen, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's
Okay.
correct.
Thanks. Just wanted to point that out.
No problem.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Didn't want 2 jobs.
Makes
Oh, Hadley County says I just write them down. Okay, city manager, monthly financial reports.
So, your monthly financial report will actually place in your box. Today is the 14th, we haven't closed the month yet, so we'll do that over the next 2 weeks. Obviously, if you're here, you can pick that up, but if you're not, because of the holidays, it'll be available to you on the 2nd. So, but we'll place that in the box as soon as we close the month. We don't close the month until, today's the 14th, we haven't closed the month yet, so we'll put that in your box, and then we'll post it on the website, so. As you normally receive, you receive the monthly accomplishments. So we put that data in there. Again, just updated it. We'll continue to do that through each month. I have included the lobbyist report, as you can see, included there also. And I provided you the city attorney update as far as just the fact that we completed the process, and we go forth from this point on to the next step. The report fairly simple this month. I would say that we post this information on the website each month, so although I don't go through all the accomplishments and go through everything, the data's out there for anybody who would like to read through the data, send us questions, ask things. Obviously, there's some operating functions within the accomplishments, and I would be glad to cover them in your individual meetings if you have questions on them. But typically at this point in time, as you know, we're just going through regular projects and trying to complete them off and so forth. The budget book, I will tell you, I had the budget book today presented to me in its bound copy. I'm reviewing it for any comments or questions. Our goal is that on Monday that we have it available. All the directors received it today also. So our goal is that Monday that we can re-post it. We haven't posted it on the website yet, but we can post the edits, I guess is the best way of saying that, and we'll post the budget book on the website, and then also either send you a link, or if you need a hard copy, you'll have to let us know that. It's final, yes. This will be a final. The CIP program will be a separate book other than the budget book, because again, it is a separate program. There'll be a summary in the budget book, and then you'll cross-reference it, or do a crosswalk. So we hope to have that available on Monday, and I'll send you an email with the link and so forth once it's available. I believe that's it, other than just to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and all of our staff the same. I appreciate all of you attending the luncheon that we had out at Lake Receptions. Wonderful event, so we appreciate it. Our employees have just raved about it since then, so truly, we appreciate that. It was a great event, so thank you.
Okay, city attorney's report, and you already submitted one before in her report, but do you have anything else?
No, just mailed it off, got my return receipt requested, got that back. Not sure why it took them 8 days to get it, but US Mail, Mr.
Some post office.
Send it to a governmental agency?
Merry Christmas, we'll see you, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, and, see you after the news.
Thank
All
you.
that.
Okay, thank you very much. And, Mr. Tucker?
Okay, just have a couple things. One, when Mary Miller was here earlier, Serenity Park is still selling their bricks. If everybody on council has not bought one, I would really ask if you buy one. Really, it's a great project. Two, my hat's off and I thank you to Public Works and City Manager. I've been like this last 2 weeks like the king of being a pain, I guess. Called numerous times about light poles and lights being out and sidewalks and certain other little items that have just popped up around my district, and everything's being taken care of. I deeply appreciate it, especially the work on Alexander. That was just an accident waiting to happen, so I deeply appreciate it. Congratulations to John McKinney and his staff for that award tonight. Just a job very well done. And last but not least, I hope everybody on council and the audience has a very Merry Christmas, a great Hanukkah, safe New Year. And I lied, I have one other thing. To our young lady sitting next to me, or our city attorney, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
24th?
You're 24.
24th anniversary.
Oh. So thank you. I hope you all have a great holiday season.
Sounds like that car's
Mr. Massey? Thank you, John.
I too wish everybody a Merry Christmas. We'll see you next year. This first few weeks has been great fun and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you all for welcoming.
Mr. Creel?
Echo the Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever holidays you want to celebrate, enjoy them. And Kathy, thank you so much. That was a wonderful sit-in. I guess, I mean, the city folks had something to do with it too,
Oh, no, they did
but
a lot.
everything was wonderful. It was really well done, and I think y'all can be proud of that. So, thanks very much.
Thank you. Ms. Tillett?
At the risk of having the mayor's eyebrows go up and down any more than they have with the, I really have nothing, except to say, a heartfelt from the entire Tillett family, and myself to however you celebrate, whatever holiday you celebrate this, winter season. I hope everyone, enjoys it with their family and friends, and, blessings to all in the new year, and we'll see you back here fit, fun, and feisty.
We're all coming to your house.
What, for cookies? This is the last cookies of the year, so there'll be more next year. Where I'm gonna, we all have our resolutions we have to live up to in January. So if you didn't have a cookie tonight, you did not, you missed it.
There's 3 of them. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Olson?
Thank you, Mayor. And a couple of just reminders. You've heard the speech before, but it's an important speech. Take a look at 2 things in your box. Florida League of Cities priorities for 2018. Really important that you look at those and be familiarize yourself with those. And secondly, the CRC, Constitutional Revision Commission. That's really important. They've got several supportive priorities and several priorities in which they oppose some of the proposals that are there. I know we all get to vote on them in November, but the time to put in the oar in the water is now, when this commission is going through this stuff, and that applies to everybody in the audience. I won't bore you with repeating whatever I've said before, but it's really important for home rule to understand the attacks that will come, guaranteed will come, through the legislative and constitutional revision process. So please review that. On January 30th and 31st, it's Tallahassee Legislative Days for cities. For those that can make it, we should go up to Tallahassee, and that's the time that legislature sets aside for cities to touch base with their local legislators and urge positions to be taken. I would urge our great city manager to consider doing that. I would like to go up there, and we'll probably do that. Our mayor should go up there, and anybody else in this council, in this dais, should go up there, and anybody in the audience for that matter. It's legislative days, and it's time to shake, rattle, and roll with the local legislators. We have Lake County days that are later on. I'm not sure when they will be.
I haven't seen the dates yet.
No, I haven't either.
I think okay.
But the cities are there, and we should come there in mass. Robin?
They may announce Lake County Days tomorrow at the League
Sure,
of City,
be there tomorrow.
Lake County League of City luncheon. So if they do, we'll post that, and I'll send it out a notice to everyone. But
Oh.
for those who are attending tomorrow,
I'll be attending.
okay.
I'll keep an eye on that, but maybe when it comes up, we can put an announcement so the council can be aware of that. So that's coming up, and then I keep saying this, but I really want to thank Robin and your staff, our staff, your staff, for the look at all the work that was put in to get here tonight, all that, and that was not done in a vacuum. So. Credit where it's due. It makes it easy for us just to have a bunch of documents to look at, and all of a sudden we get to say yes or no to documents. If those documents don't get here automatically, it's because of all the work today, and city attorney as well, and others that do the work to get that to us. So I feel grateful for that. Great police lunch. Those that were able to attend the city police lunch, it was wonderful. John, thank you for everything, and Chief and your staff. When we had the annual meeting of the Country Club of Mount Dora, this is good and bad news depending on your perspective. I was reelected as the HOA president. It'll probably be part of it's Donnie's fault. But at any rate, we changed the color guard this year. We usually use the J. Rotzi team. The Air Force J. Rotzi at the high school is a great little color guard and honor guard there. This time we used the police department. They were exceptional. I mean, they're regionally and statewidely recognized for quality, and they were very impressive. So, Chief, well done. Thank you. And great employee luncheon. Great to serve with all of you for this year. And Merry Christmas and happy everything to everybody. So, thank you for the honor. Bye.
I will just ditto what everyone else said, but I do have to make the comment because, as you all know, that the work I do at Lake Receptions, the city was one of the easiest clients to work with, along with the police department. They let us do our job, and then you all came in and did your job, and I think that's where that team comes together and you have a good event. So I appreciate both of you all with that. And we, of course, have Shop of the Cop on Saturday, which I'm going to be there for Lake Harris Food Pantry, but I know the rest of there's other team members going to be there for that. And I'm sure the mayor will mention our marathon this weekend. That I'm not working, but he is. And you're working it, I'm taking the day off on that one. There you go. It's yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, yes, I will be doing the marathon. It's and that has to be there for 6. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Well, I told Mayor Bell, I told Deputy Chief Bell one time. He's talking about this little escapade he had out. He had to catch somebody and how he really did that. And I said no better than I says I am really heck at a 5-yard dash. I says I am good at a 5-yard dash. That's it. That's my limit. I know my limit. Yeah. But anyway, the marathon, I get there. we partner with, the Sister Cities partners with Vicki Blake, who runs the marathon, and we provide a lot of volunteers, so she doesn't have to pay our police department the money, you know, for all the crossing guards and everything, and helps her cost. And she gives the Sister Cities a very nice stipend for the volunteers that we supply to them. So I'm there at 6:30, but I do a little dual duty. I have my camera, and I sit there and last year I took 2,300 pictures for her. And because I'm there for the whole thing and most of the time, so, and, but it took 2,300 pictures, but, you know, with that, it's fun, hey, the camera, hey, it's a good camera, she has one, she knows how nice it is, very good camera, yay. So, and I share, I think last year, I share them, try to share them whoever I give them to, and let them use them however they want to use them, so no problem. But this year's been a great year, and Mr. Massey, and it's been a pleasure having you here, and joining our council, and so we're looking forward to another great year. And there's a lot of things happening, and they're going to be happening. The city manager, myself, we're going to be preparing for the January 2018 Mount Dora 2018, and the presentation for that, which then is going to just piggyback right into the state of the city address at the same time. So we should be having that following up right with that one also. So it's going to be an exciting year, and believe me, there's when she was kind of hinting around about some of the things happening in the city, and believe me, there's a lot that's happening and behind the scenes that are going on, and so hopefully a lot of these things come to fruition, and because this is going to be great times for the city of Mount Dora. So, again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays, and enjoy the season. Thank you. We'll be adjourned. Thank you. We're adjourned.